Hey, good people, it's Larry Jones. What in the name of all electric vehicles is going on today? I have answers for you. So, as you could see, just about everything in the EV space, electric vehicles, EV, is having a red day. So there's a lot going on. So let's get right into it. All right. These are things you need to know going forward because you have to make some decisions, right? So first of all, you had GM not taking a stake in Nikola. Nikola is, in the EV space as far as trucking goes, okay? And so that alone had a negative effect on another EV trucking company, which is known as HYLN, right? So you got negative news already. And then in the same time span, while this is going on, HYLN does a call on their warrants, right? So when you do a call on the warrants, that usually kind of dilutes the shares a little bit. And so what happens is the combination of these two cause HYLN stock to fall, right? The stock price of HYLN to fall. So those of you that have warrants in the HYLN, that's me, I have a ton of them. We have until December 30th to either exercise the warrants, which you can't do yourself. You have to call your broker and they have to do it for you, or you sell the warrants at list value, whatever the price is, you sell them at face value, or they go to zero. So you have to do one of the two, right? You have to do one of the two. You either have to exercise the warrants or you sell them at face value. All right. But don't wait until the last minute. Have an exit plan. All right. That's not all that's happening in this crazy EV market. And then we're going to talk about what I think you guys should do after this, because there are some things that I've been saying in my previous videos about balancing the boat, right? So then you have Chinese EV manufacturer Candy, it's called. And I'm not invested in that company. And it's called Candy Technologies, right? They were accused of inflating their sales numbers, right? And for those of you that know, the Chinese are not the most forthcoming when it comes to business practices. And they have been known to inflate numbers and not be held to the same standard as U.S. companies. U.S. companies are held to a very high standard when it comes to being a publicly traded company. There are certain things that you have to do to meet the Fed's qualifications, right? Having said that, on top of everything else that's going wrong that could cause EV stocks, electric vehicles, and that means Chinese EVs, American EVs, that means charging stations, switchback energy. That means anything in the EV space is just kind of going down, right? So there's a meeting that I believe is going on Wednesday, all right? As early as Wednesday, there's going to be a bill. They're going to be voting on a bill to delist some Chinese companies, right? And they're going to delist the companies, which means that they will not be tradable on the UX stock exchange. And that is like the nail on the coffin with this bloodbath, right? And so you're talking, especially Chinese companies that have government backing. That causes a problem because XPENG, Neo, Alibaba, these are all Chinese companies that have government backing, right? And so that causes a problem because I have a ton of Neo and I have XPENG and I've made money, right? So that's what's happening. So remember, I'm going to just take it in steps so you'll know and then I'll discuss it, right? GM not taking a stake in Nikola. HYLN calling the warrants, right? And then you got Candy Technologies inflating their numbers. You know, who's going to smack their hand, right? And then you have the vote, you know, that may delist some Chinese EV companies, well, some Chinese companies on the U.S. stock exchange. All of those things have happened this week, okay? It's Tuesday. So it's crazy. I know, people, it's crazy. So you see a sea of red. So, you know, I'm going to put this disclaimer in there again. Before you make any financial decisions, you should do your own research. Number one. Number two, you should consult with your financial advisor, to which I am not. I have this disclaimer in all my videos. All right. But what I'm going to tell you guys is this. If I think that there is a slim chance that these companies will be delisted because this has been a ongoing problem. It's been a problem going on before. I will tell you this, and I'm not getting into politics. This is not about politics. This is about our money. If President Trump stays in office, there is a more likelihood that it will happen. If President-elect Biden gets into office finally, then there is a chance that there's a great chance that it won't happen. All right. Remember, I'm independent, so I don't have a, you know, I don't have a dog in a race. This is about money, right? So let's not get into politics. We only discuss politics as it pertains to our money. All right. So that's what I want to tell you guys that's really going on. You got to look at the whole pie. I know there's a lot of these young cats that are posting on YouTube and they don't have the whole picture. Sometimes you got to step back and look at the whole picture so you guys can make some financial decisions. OK, excuse me while I take a drink. So what I want to tell you guys is this. It's risky. It is. But for those of you that time it right, it's a humongous buying opportunity, right? And so what I will tell you guys to do is two things. Number one, if you are I know guys in Neo that are up 300%. Now's the time to think about doing some profit taking. You should do some profit taking. Every video I've ever talked to you about, I've always said there is never anything wrong with doing profit taking, especially if you're green. Profit taking is okay. It's never a bad thing. Profit taking is always a good thing. You lock in your wins when you do profit taking, right? Is this a buying opportunity? Yes. If the Chinese companies don't get delisted, I'm myself personally, I have bought some more of one of these companies. And I got my fingers, my toes, my eyes crossed that, you know, Neo and XPENG don't get delisted. So remember, this is information to help you to make your decision, right? So far, if you've learned one thing, just one thing so far, hit the like button because it keeps me alive, right? So what I want to tell you is this. You need to balance the boat. Right? Good people, hear me and hear me well. You know, you got a lot of guys out there just telling you hype stock, hype stock, hype stock, hype stock. But you got to protect your investment. And I want to tell you a couple of things that I want you to look at. If you look at your portfolio and it is over 25% EVs meaning electric vehicles, meaning Chinese EV companies, American EV companies, American charging stations, all of that is in the EV market, then I'm going to tell you you're EV heavy. Me personally, I know it's the future. I know there's a ton of money to be made. And when this is over, yes, they can rebound. They can start running. But you want to limit your risk. If you're over 25% in EVs, you're way overvalued, right? And if for those of us that have big portfolios, you should be no more than 10%, right? But 25% for you newbies, I would tell you you're too heavy in EVs. There's other things coming like 5G that's going to grow at the same rate, if not more on some of these stocks. And I'm going to be giving you guys more. So you want to subscribe and you want to make sure that you have the notification bell correctly checked. Just hit all, right? Because I'm going to help you to make money. But what I'm telling you guys is this. Make sure you balance the boat, right? Make sure that it's okay to have some banks in there. You know, you got to look at other industries, some 5G and, you know, the basics like Facebook and Apple. Yeah, and you say, well, Apple's not running right now. I want you to go to Google and look at how Apple has performed over the last 5-10 years. Just do 10 years. And it's a solid company. So you got to balance the boat, good people. And it's going to continue to make money, right? So yes, I am using this opportunity to double down in certain stocks. There are certain stocks I'm going to wait until it's over. And the very last thing I want to leave you guys with, which is highly important on how to protect your money, is use a limit button and use the trailing stop loss. I made a video on that. I'm telling you, I'm going to save you guys millions of dollars, you know, over the 73,000 followers. Literally millions of dollars if you learn how to use the trailing stop loss button. For those of you that don't know it, I'm going to leave a video here. This video is going to save you money, and I would put it on all of my Chinese stocks. And you're going to ask by how much? I have mine set to 10%. You have to check your own right now. I set it to 10% today on the ones that I'm green on. All right. So I've already lost some money just like all of you have. But there's a reason why I set it at 10% of today, because I'm still green. All right. You have to do what's best for you. But I want you to listen to this video, and I want you guys to protect your investments. Protect your money. So yeah, all of these guys are going to tell you, not all of the guys, but a lot of guys are going to tell you you know, hey, this is a hype stock. This is a hype stock. And you're only buying SPACs and you're only buying EVs, and you're setting yourself up to lose, right? You want to balance the boat. Don't just keep loading up the boat, but balance the boat, right? Remember, I want to ask you a question. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be wealthy, right? Wealthy people, that's generational. Their fathers was rich. Their grandfathers and their great-great-grandfathers was rich. You know, that's wealth, generational. Rich is somebody, you're rich, you're like the lottery winner, right? 78% of them wind up broke within the first 3 years. You don't want to be rich. You want to be wealthy. Okay. So guys, do your due diligence. Let's all make money. 2021 is going to be a phenomenal year. Don't let this discourage you. It's going to be a phenomenal year. There's going to be more millionaires made, and a lot of us are going to make a lot of money. Until next time, people, remember, if you're not subscribed, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'm sorry. And stay tuned, because I'm going to shoot straight with you guys, and I'm going to help protect your investments. All right. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Peace.